going on, everybody? Daniel Demigod Madrid back here, and I wanted to talk to you guys about something that's been blowing up over the internet, which is this DUST acronym for Detroit Urban Survival Tactics. And for the first couple times that I had seen it come through, I honest to God, I thought it was like one of those fake black belt McDojo kind of viral scam funny videos, and it turns out it's a legitimate page. And I researched a little bit further, and they got, I think it's like some 30,000 odd followers. And do you know what? At first, because of the context that it had originally been put into, I was like, okay, let me do my due diligence. Let me look into this and see if it's, you know, if it's legit or if people are just making fun of it. And I went through and I watched about 15 to 20 of his videos, his little short clips on Instagram. I haven't looked for his YouTube page yet. But I can tell you this, and let me start by saying that in no way, shape, or form am I now, have I ever, or will I ever consider myself to be a self-defense expert. I think there are many people out there who actually have the experience and have the knowledge who can teach those type of tactics regarding self-defense. I do show self-defense techniques, but not in the sense that I would be confident enough to tell you, you know, venture out and if this was to ever happen, use this technique in order to save yourself. Again, it's just not my forte. It's not my particular study. So what I can tell you is that I have over 20 years experience of fighting in general, and that is both on the street and then also professionally, amateurly, or actually not amateurly, amateur. And this all ranges from boxing to kickboxing to Thai fighting to, Muay Thai fighting, and then to also MMA. And then sprinkle in a lot of jiu-jitsu matches and competitions, and that's my experience. My resume speaks for itself. I can tell you the techniques that I show in my classes, and I'm straightforward and I'm honest with everyone that comes through the doors. I don't teach self-defense. What I do is I teach competitive jiu-jitsu, and it's strictly competition based. But the moves that I do show can correlate over into self-defense. And do you know, after watching this page, it's DUST. I don't even know why you would come up with that acronym, but after watching it, it really disturbed me, man, because there was two videos that I can instantly think of offhand. Is number one is there's 4 attackers or 4 aggressors, and he is preaching about the idea of simply circling and, you know, having combative hands, which just means hand fighting, you know, circling away, and you're going to essentially be safe from this. If you watch that video, man, if the attackers were doing something that I wanted them to do and I could defend what I wanted them to do, then it would be a perfect world. It would be fine. What he's teaching would be accurate and you would be safe. But that's not the case here, man. And I think to teach that and then to preach it it's a dangerous, it's a very treacherous avenue to take. And I don't think it's wise of him to be doing this. I mean, and I'm only going to speak on the hand-to-hand combatives. I have been talking to a couple friends who are way more specialized in the firearm and the knife area of what fighting is, and even they have said that what he is showing is very dangerous. So what I'm thinking of doing is doing like not an instructional, but just kind of like compare his to ours, and then just kind of let you guys be the judge of it. The other one that I saw really disturbing was he was showing a one person aggressor going to push you, and again it's like he had this guy stuck out here like this, like if this guy was doing this to you, like this would you, and there was like a bunch of like hand movement. It reminded me a lot of like Kenpo karate movement, and there's nothing wrong with either of those martial arts, but again, a lot of it, even with these short instructionals or like demonstrations on Instagram, YouTube, or whatever, even the longer ones, and I haven't seen any of his longer ones, so I don't want to discredit him for not mentioning or talking about this, but even in the short ones, I think it's really important to talk about that kind of stuff. And what I mean by kind of stuff is like the reaction time that it takes in order to see an aggressor's hands come towards you, and then have that ability to react accordingly so you can avoid the danger and get out of the way. He simply just states it like, if you do this, this, and this and move out of the way, you're fine. Like, it's not as simple as that. And I mean, as a fighter professionally, I can tell you it takes a lot of practice, hand and eye coordination, and then just overall athleticism in order to develop that sort of or those sort of techniques. So what the reason for my video is please, if you're out there and you're looking for a self-defense school or academy, or there's something going on that you need to learn self-defense, hold yourself accountable, do your due diligence, look into the academy or the business that is providing this sort of training to you, and make sure they're accredited. You know, make sure they have a good following of reasonable resources, and that, you know, and go try out a class. Don't sign up for something without trying it first. I cannot preach that one enough. Like, always take, even if it's one day, take that one day. You can get a pretty good read on somebody, or just, you know, be the judge of a character off of just a few hours of being around them. Okay, it's super important. Like, you know, Mario and I over at Legion MMA, like we preach a week free trial. We want you to take every class, meet every instructor, you know, introduce yourself to every member and every student, hear the good things about us, hear the bad things about us, find out why people are religiously staying with us, but also find out why people left, and see if everything coincides with what you're looking for in a training program, in an academy, and in instructors, most importantly, because those are the people that you're depending on. You're putting your faith in, you're giving an undivided amount of trust into that person or into that group of people. So again, please be careful, do your due diligence. Much love to you guys all. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the alert bell for any type of new content coming out, because I promise you guys at least one video a week is going to be coming out. Here's your video, and they're going to keep coming out, man. Instagram's popping off. Let's try to grow everything else like we have been. But thanks again, guys. Deuces.